Testing. 1, 2. Ha ha! Can you hear me now? Ah-roo! Can you hear me now? Tell me you can hear me. You've got to be able to hear me now. No. Yes. Yay! Y'all, thank you so much for your patience and kindness when this stupid bull shiitake happens. Y'all, you can't. Good morning. I'm Mama Bear, aka Bernadette. I have just abandoned my birth name. I'm just gonna be called Mama Bear from now on, and only occasionally will I allow people to call me Bernadette. It's nuts, right? You guys are so sweet to me. I love you all so much. You don't even know. But I'm telling you what just transpired. We've got to talk about that this morning. So let me get all of the I did kick Satan in the arse. I so did. Ah-woo! Yes, I did. And so, y'all, let me tell you something. What's the topic this morning? Negative blocks, right? Amy Pittman? No joke. No joke, Amy Pittman. All right. So let's talk about, first of all, thank you so much to Teapot and Amy for being here. They always save my behindy. Y'all always save my behindy. And there is some crazy energy stuff going on, y'all. Like, no joke, crazy energy. So let me take a sippy sip of my non-fat, no sugar, iced coffee. Woo, chocolate iced coffee with a protein drink. And just some housekeeping out of the way. Where is Dawn? Better get on here this morning, because Don is the one that kicked me in the arse a couple weeks ago, and I was like, if y'all could help me get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, it would be so awesome. And he was like, well, oh, thank you, Joan. Thank you all today. Hey, Keith. Keith, I am going to answer your Facebook. If y'all can see by the bags under my eyes, it's a week, but it's a good week, but like an amazing week, but there's been a lot going on, as Amy will attest. So that said, also, please, if you, yes, no sugar. I ain't kidding. We ain't kidding with the sugar. And by the way, you guys got to know, if somebody comes on and they're like, ooh, message me for an inbox or reading, that's none of my people. And that surely is not me. So just ignore them, and I'll see them at some point and I'll ban them. And, so anyway, so one of the reasons that, so let me just say, today is meant to be a healing message day. So any message that's going to come to you today, any animal, any card, or both, is the card that's intended, or if just a chakra comes to my mind, or anything else comes to my mind, because today is going to be like psychic tarot, maybe even mediumship day. Maybe even mediumship. I feel like somebody out. Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to know where the iPod's case is too, Angel Heart. I had to break bad and just get a new one. And let me just say, on Amazon, they have these neat little rubbery cases that you can put around them, which protects them when you drop them, like I always do. But you know what I was told? I was told that the other case is going to appear. I don't know why I needed to order this one, but the other one is going to appear. I didn't lose it. Well, this morning I can't find my bear ring. I have this bear bracelet I bought from a Canadian, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't recall the name of the tribe, but they're on Etsy, and they do just some of the most beautiful handiwork. And I have a bracelet and that matching ring I always wear here. Can't find the ring, and I never lose anything ever. So it's here. All right. So it's under your bed. I just know it. Who the heck knows where it's at? But so let me tell you why this morning it's under a bookshelf or dresser. It's tall wood. Okay. I'll look in all of those places. I totally will. So let me just say this. So one of the reasons that, and this is going to get super personal, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but it's exactly why we're removing negative blocks this morning. And it's not about me, but what did happen to me this week was it was not a trigger, but it was a wake-up call. And the fairies, oh my gosh, Mary Margaret Spooner, let me tell you something. Just yesterday, so I have told y'all there's this big business thing I'm working on. No sound? What? You have to have sound. I show that, yeah, it's got to be you, Christina. Did y'all lose me? You're never late. Christina De La Torre says, oh, there's sound. Hey, Peter. Good morning, honey. Okay, cool. Christina, honey, I don't, hold on. Hey, Teapot, could you, at Christina, oh gosh, what's her name? It's already gone up so fast. Christina De La Torre, she says she can't hear me. Okay. So I know, don't touch it anymore. I'm like on the Master Chef. Okay, your time is up. Hands off, right? Okay. So, it was in a pocket, Angel Heart. It was for like 2 days. But here's the thing. So, in the last 2 weeks, every client I've read for, and every friend I've spoken with, and every business person I've spoken with, every one of them, 100%, have said to me, God, I just feel stuck. I feel stuck. I feel something's blocking me, but I don't know what it is. I feel like something's blocking me. I don't know what it is. You do this long enough and you start to recognize patterns, right? When you do psychic and tarot readings and, that kind of thing, and whatever, mediumship readings, whatever you want to call it. Let me just say, though, I feel like there's somebody on the chat today, or will be on the chat here shortly, that has literally just recently lost someone within the last maybe like week, maybe 2, but like the last week has lost someone and are in a grieving, well, actually they're in more shock. I'm breaking in and out. Well, I don't know. What? Yeah, right. Okay. So, Natalie Vargas, when I'm looking at my, all my tools, my little bells and whistles in my Streamlabs OBS, 3 weeks, but your sister. Okay, Gail, it might be you. It might be, and that's pretty recently. But okay, cool. Thanks, Teapot. So, sorry, I have incoming. I'm hearing. Okay, I'm gonna ask whoever this is to we know, I'm sorry, Kelly, we know you lost your biological mom. Bernadette doesn't know that. Do I know that? Do I just not remember seeing it on the chat or something? It's not ringing a bell. I'm sorry, Kelly. But it might be you. But I'm just going to ask this person. Geez, oh, Pete. So sorry. Yeah, I don't know how I missed it. Maybe okay. I'm just going to keep asking this person for clarification. And let me just say this. So let me get back to why I was told to do this healing / reading on removing negative blocks, because so I have a very rare muscle myopathy. In fact, it's so rare they don't even have a name for it yet. But because of what happens to me physically if I'm not on a particular kind of medication, and what they have seen in the biopsies, the muscle biopsies that they've done, it's no joke. And I've been tested for MS and tested and retested for that, and so far not showing any markers or anything. But at the end of the day, from October 2019, when I had my crazy health crash and almost died like twice in 2 days, I have not been allowed to do really any kind of exercising or a whole lot of movement, so I didn't do further damage to my muscles, right? And then literally just days before I went on the manatee trip back at the beginning of the year in 26-degree weather, I was cleared by my doctor, and he said, well, if you want to drown, go ahead and go swimming. I'm clearing you, but you good luck. You better have someone there to save you if you go under. He wasn't kidding. So all of that said, yes, Kelly and Gail, sending so much love to you guys. Seriously. So yes, I did. We talked on Messenger about it. Okay, Kelly, okay. So I want to go on record as saying I don't know this is for you, Kelly, because even though I'm not consciously remembering it right now, once I know something, oh, that's right. Oh, now I remember. Thank y'all. But when I don't consciously remember something, but somebody is like, oh, hey, I told you whatever, I have to know that I have a subconscious memory of it. And so at that point, I have to like double, triple, quadruple check in with spirit. So let me just, okay, Kelly or Gail, Kelly or Gail, Kelly or Gail, did one of the people that you lost, did they have a thing for bells, like collect bells, or played the xylophone, or played bells, or loved like bells that they would hear in a church steeple, that kind of thing? There's something about bells, 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 and I don't know who this is yet. Kelly or Gail, Kelly or Gail, Marie. Yeah. Oof, so sorry. Okay, so let me get back to this because this is going to be relevant to you all, especially those of you that are grieving, so, or in shock. So, then I finally got released to go do physical therapy, literally last week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And so I set up an appointment with a personal trainer that my family knows really well. Gail, your sister collected bells and wind chimes. This is for you, Gail. Okay. Then this is for sure for you. That doesn't mean that it won't also be, that doesn't mean that it won't. Amy, I just rang my altar bell. I wonder, yes, of course it was. You're already tuning in, Amy. I mean, listen. So Amy, I've got to believe that what you do when you're on these lives, well, good morning, Skylar, Sky, Laurel, whatever your name is, 88. Good morning to you. So Amy, back to you. When you're watching the lives, you, Joshua Benjamin, is that a metaphor? Or did you really have a snake that loomed up in front of you that you harmed? What does that mean? Joshua, maybe you want to give us some clarity on that. So, anyway, so I went to the trainer this week, only for the second time. And I've been having balance problems because when you have muscle issues, you get balance problems. Now, y'all, you can't tell to look at me today, but I danced for 15 or 16 years, ballet, tap, or jazz when I was younger. And though I've never been an athlete, I've always been really strong and really, pretty fit. And so it's irked my demons that my spirit that I haven't been. Well, what got to me was he had me do, when I told him I was having balancing problems, okay, Keith just had a dream with bells in it that remind of my grandmother. All right, we got bells everywhere. Okay. No, Kelly, I didn't see your name as Bell. No, I only know you as Kelly B. Wow. Okay, bells everywhere. All right, this might be for all three of you. But it's really a short. Don't listen. Don't remove it. Don't remove it. Don't remove his name. Keep it on there as long as you want. Anyway, so he had me do this thing where I would walk from one side of his studio to the other, and I would raise my leg up like I was marching in band again, and then put one foot down in front of the other so it was heel toe, heel toe. Well, the first time I did it, y'all, I about fell over at least a dozen times. I could not believe how I couldn't believe it. And I knew I was in pretty bad shape compared to what I used to be like, but pretty bad. I just didn't think it was like that. So I got to one end of the room, and when I turned around to go It really happened. Joshua Benjamin, I'm asking you to tell me one more time. Are you saying to us that you harmed a real live snake? I'm just asking. I need to know if... Okay, so you chased it away. You didn't harm it. Please. Hey, Rosin, hey, good morning, honey. Well, it's afternoon where you are. Oh my God, all hell's breaking loose. My handyman may be here. Sometimes he doesn't tell me when he's coming. He just shows up. So all of that said, when I got to the other end of the room, I turned around and there's a place I go in my mind when I get really like focused on something, and it's like a trance state, and it is like, it's the zone of all zones. And I walked back across that room and only toddled once. So the reason, okay, thank you, Joshua. Listen, honey, we want to love you, but you've got to be more clear, honey. When you come on my channel, all of us here are like animal advocates and lovers, and you put something like I might have just beat the crap out of my spirit animal. It can be funny if it's in a metaphorical sense. It's not funny if we think you're harming an animal. So thank you for clarifying that. I really appreciate it. Okay, so all that said, when I got home, y'all, I don't ever cry. I mean, I cry. You know, I get emotional in readings and on screen with you all and that kind of thing. But I never like cry the ugly cry so very, very much. Well, I just had a meltdown when I got home. I just could not believe that my muscles have deteriorated that much. So I'm now going to the trainer 3 times a week. And I'm now doing whatever, because I'm not playing. Well, I removed that block, whatever that was. And it wasn't a mental block, but it could have been a mental block, because I could have been so focused on what I couldn't do, didn't have, whatever, that it could have been. And it is a block physically, and I'm just double dutching down. I mean, we're done here. So then when I sat and thought about it, I was like, so many people have approached me about feeling stuck, being stuck. I was like, well, that's what today's reading and healing has got to be about. So the first thing I want to do, I will be answering questions all day. I don't really want a confession, Joshua, but thank you for being honest. Of course they wouldn't get out, because they probably were trapped. Reptiles are not the sharpest knives in the drawer, and probably they got in and didn't know the way out. But maybe that's a good reason to get a pool net and scoop them out and take them to a safer place. Just saying. Okay. So that said, I'm going to pull a card for everybody, and then I'm going to take individual questions. However, they have got to be specific. How can I heal my block of? Do you, can you give me insight, or can the spirit animals or the cards or whatever give me insight into what my block is regarding XYZ? Please do not ask me things like, is he going to call me again? Is she going to call me again? Am I going to get this job? Today is about removing negative blocks. And you may know what those negative blocks are, and you may not know what those negative blocks are. So today we can explore, excellent. Okay, so today we can explore negative blocks. And Lily, thank you. I choose to hear what my block is to self-care and self-love. Okay, so let me pull a card for everybody first. So whatever negative block is on your mind. Okay, people that have the belt. Hey, Dawn. People that have the loved ones on, or the loved one on the other side that is associated with the bells, and there's like 3 of you now. Amy or Teapot, somebody start keeping up, please, with these people and texting me. The chat's already starting to blow up, and I'm already losing. I can't stay focused in the woo woo world and trying to keep up on the chat too, especially because okay, so I don't even know what oh yeah, the bells. Okay, so most girls, boys, it doesn't matter, but most children at some point, I've got to believe, have played with a tea set, or tea parties, that kind of thing, or whatever. We used to call them ice cream socials when I was a kid, because we were young, we hated tea, but we loved ice cream. So but I feel like one of you that has the association with the person who passed over, who also resonates with the bells, also resonates with tea parties. Not I had one once, not I had one a few times, but it would have been a thing. Or maybe even collecting teacups or tea sets, but something where it was just a real beautiful time you guys used to share together. And I might be seeing it as a tea set because I see it very little, and I see you as little, like, young, but that doesn't mean anything. It could have been something that you all shared when you got older. So okay, all right, cool. All right, so if that's you, let me get back to Lily. No, sorry, this is for everybody first. Of course it is. Of course it is. A dragon. So for those of you that are experiencing blocks of any kind and you want to heal, like, healing the block means removing the block, but sometimes removing something is going to leave, it's going to sting. It might leave the wound open, and a little raw. It might take the jaws of life to get you to remove the block, the negative energy. But dragon is here to help you do that. And so I would really, 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 really encourage you. Wow. Mackenzie, how long ago did your sister pass? Yeah, thanks, Teapot. And yes, please keep on subject. Stay on subject there, Joshua. Okay, so this is for everybody. This will not matter what kind of negative block you have, negative energy block you want to get rid of. And that can be from inside, but you might feel like in your home or at work there might be some negative energy blocks, that kind of thing. I wow. And not only that, but if you'll notice, this is a blue dragon. And so when the color blue is of course related to the throat chakra. Oftentimes I find that people that have energy blocks or negative blocks of any kind, it's because they just haven't been able to voice what is truly blocking them, what their fears are, and if it is someone else, like outside of them, that is causing the kerfuffle, they're having a hard time speaking up, right? And that means something different for a lot of people. Some people are straight up blunt, some people are forceful, some people do it, some people are some people do it with more loving kindness than it astounds me. I have some friends that can say things to people, and those people will walk away thinking they just gave me a blessing. It's amazing. So all of that said, blue dragon, not just any dragon, but a blue dragon is going to help you remove those blocks. Now back to Lily. All right, because from here on out, y'all, I'm speeding. with the reading. Healing blocks from an energy palmistry perspective requires stretching fingers back. Horizontal lines where fingers are touch the palm and are called blockages to energy flow. Okay. All right. So what's your block? What's your negative block to self-love, Lily? So, Lily, praying mantis is working with you right now. And how I'm seeing that is your block to self-love might be being confused with a lack of confidence in your abilities in just about everything. And what that means is this. I just feel like you're not ever really confident enough to make the leap. Whereas praying mantis will sit in a prayer position for however long until they instinctually know the right time is to leap. You just sit. And even when you instinctually know, you're like, oh, should have gone, should have gone, should have gone, should have gone. Now, confidence, I think, and listen, I'm no medical professional. This is not psychiatric advice, counseling. It's not any of those things. This is purely metaphysical and spiritual animal. So all of that said, confidence is a kind of self-love. But praying mantis is not telling me that you don't love yourself or care about yourself. And this is for Lily, that you are supremely unconfident in your abilities in just about everything. And it's very difficult for you to jump. Does that make any kind of sense, Lily? Okay, you're saying yes. Okay, so I'm guessing that makes sense. Now, an added thing with praying mantis, I think I'm going to hire a 24/7 barista for my house. So, Lily, I just really feel like here's the bigger block. I really feel like you're supposed to own your own business, whatever that is. Because when you do get involved in something, you are so conscientious. You are detail oriented. Man, you will stay on something till the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, until your I's are crossed. You're not a Virgo by any chance, are you? Lily, come work for me. That'd be awesome. Move to Florida and be my 24/7 barista. You'll have to do it for Amy too. She lives right up the street, but that'll be all right. So, Lily, are you a Virgo by any chance? Hey Mindy. Hey honey. So, brainwashed by a Virgo. There you go. Okay, now, let me just say this. Totally get that. I was feeling the Virgo energy somewhere, and boy, I'm telling you, brainwashed, I get it. Really, I do. Now, let me just say this to y'all also. When, again, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a medical professional of any kind, but when we have things happen to us, externally, internally, positively or negatively, it literally morphs our neural pathways in our brains. Our brains are like silly putty. And they're like Harry Potter stairs. They just move. The neural pathways move depending on the stimuli, right? Okay. So when you say you were brainwashed by a Virgo, very literally, physically, that's true. So what I would encourage you to do is work with praying mantis to undo the wiring in your brain. And what's really, really interesting to me is if you take a look at how a praying mantis or a walking stick is made, they're very thin, they're very long, and it looks very much like a neuron, like a neural thread, right? Okay. So that is right. You have early childhood trauma. Okay, totally get that. I went to school for English and and love editing. Okay. So all of that said, Lily, one of the things that praying mantis does is not make a peep and not make a move until it knows again instinctually that it's the right move to make. Instinctually, I think, well, I really, Lily, do you have a thing for angels? Like angels? Okay. I'm looking at the chat. I don't know if you do, but you might have a thing for angels, right? I just keep seeing these feathered things, and I'm in the light that's behind them, I'm interpreting as angels. But here's the story. You've got to start rewiring your neural pathways. You collect angels. Okay. Wow, Gail. Okay. You've got angel heart. Um you've got to start consciously letting go of the claiming of I have childhood trauma, I am brainwashed, I was brainwashed, all of those things. That rhetoric no longer serves you. I have a lot of dead people I talk to. Oh, you love feathers, you just got a celestite. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, that's why I'm feeling and that's why they call it psychic, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that you just got a celestite and started to work with angel energy. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to tell you, Lily. That's no joke. That is no joke. You really are working in the angelic realm. And if you notice, mantis has beautiful wings. Most people, I don't think a lot of people know that about, different types of mantises. They think they're just one long tube, but they're not. Not all of them. So there you go. And I hope, okay, Joshua, uh, I get you about the negative blocks. We're not going to go down a conversation about the yoni. We'll save that for Sacred Sexuality Day, okay? Thank you. So I hope that's helpful, Lily. I know they're beautiful, but from far away. So I hope that's helpful. I totally don't even know what the next question was. I hope somebody emailed me, y'all, or texted me, y'all. I may have to go. Okay, Ma Web. Okay, Ma. Thank you, Amy Pittman. Okay, can the spirit animals tell me why I have a block on why I do not love doing the things I used to do? Yes, of course. Yep, I sure do. The spirit animals can tell you anything. Why you do not love doing the things you used to. Now, I am setting the specific intention, Ma, that we're talking about the things that you used to love. I don't know what those things are, but you do and spirit does. So this is going to be very specific to whatever those specific things are that you love. Ma Web. Okay, Ma, I'm gonna keep the chat going. I hope you can respond to this. You're welcome, Stitches. Ma WBB. I call you Ma Web. Ma Web. Hey, Athens, Georgia. Okay. Have you in the last year or two had maybe 3 years? Last 3 years, but for sure no longer than that. And I really kind of feel like it's in the last year. Okay. Have you had a fire blaze through your life, through your heart, through your life, a fire like a wildfire, like, and I don't mean a physical fire. This is like emotional or mental. Have you had that blaze through your life recently in the last year or two? Maweb, Maweb, calling Maweb. Okay, I'm going to assume that you have, because here's what I'm hearing from Koala. This is the first time I've ever seen this. I broke up with a guy I was dating. Okay, it was that like a wildfire? Was it decimating basically? Okay. So what I'm seeing, and this is the first time ever when I pulled a koala bear, I think, that I have seen this for anybody, but I keep being led to the horrific Australian fires of last year. Not to you. Okay, then it's not that. There's just something about a whole the art. Okay, let me ask this question: Are you a fire sign? Are you a fire sign like a Leo, Aries? What's the other fire sign? Okay, let me just say this. There's something, something about, okay, something about a fire that is just, it just blazed you. It just leveled everything. And in a way, it ruined the landscape for you. Meaning, you can't go back to there. Like what it once was, it's just not anymore. But because it it just got burnt to the ground. Now, as awful as that is, you've got no choice. You've got no choice but to turn your attention to letting go of that. Look, they say that there's a I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a 1 to 10 list of the top 10 things that'll throw people right into a depression. And one of the hardest emotional things to come back from, you can lose your house in a hurricane, you can have it be flooded, it could a big sinkhole could open up and swallow your house, it could fall off the side of a cliff. But fire is the one thing that people, if your house burns down to the ground, or even there's a fire in it, psychologically, so they say in the studies I've read, that it is almost impossible to come back from in some ways. Like, it's one of the hardest things to come back from. So there's something going on with you that is literally a fire that just put everything to the ground. And you're like, you just have to move on. You just have to move on. Only you're going to know what that is. Only you're going to know what that is. But fire may just be the metaphor of anything, and it doesn't have to be the hobbies and the interests that got blown to bits. Another part of your life could have been like that in the last 2 to 3 years, and it just burned those passions up with it. It just took it right with it. But you had oh my God, you had a tenant intentionally set your last house on fire. Holy cow. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. I know it's a little vague, but I would really encourage you to read everything you can about koala, because there will be other things in there that stimulate you. One of the bigger things that I keep hearing for you, and then I've got to move on, is that I just keep seeing the koalas reach out for help, reach out for help, reach out for help. I don't know that you really ever do that. And so reaching out for help in your own way, meaning, you know, talk to some friends and see what they're doing, or just kind of poke around here or there, and then go take it, go do something. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. Okay. But if you do like it, then you do like it. But it's there's a component there about asking for help. And I got to tell you, Ma, I really feel like this goes back to the fire portion. The fire portion, whatever this was that got a, it was vague. I totally know that. There you go. You don't reach out for help. So there's something connected to the fire that decimated the landscape, and I'm equating the landscape to your life, to your heart, and that is the event that you did not ask for help from. Hence, it's the cover. You're feeling like the I've lost my passion for the hobbies and the interest in that kind of thing as the symptom. And it is the symptom, but the underlying cause is whatever it was that took your life, your heart down to the ground. That's not vague. So I hope that's helpful. Holy cow. All right. You guys, I will try to get to everybody. I don't know that it's possible, but Amy is texting me, and I'm going to thank you, Amy, and I'm going to go in the order that these were put in. Okay. And she's on Messenger. Hold on, you guys. I got to open up my Messenger. My bad. Hold on. Hold, please. Okay, Gail. Fear of success, being seen and heard. Okay. Well, today's for sure Spirit Animal Day, but I'm in the psychic place as well. I just want to say one more thing, Ma Webb. Do you have an injury or something that is bothering you on one of your hands or up by your shoulder here? I feel like there's something in your arms, on one of the arms, that is, yes, I'm streaming on multiple platforms, Marty, and I'm adding more as we go along, as long as Restream doesn't throttle me. When I first started, Restream used to throttle me when I tried to broadcast to all my channels. So all of that said, Gail, or not Gail, but Ma Webb, I think if you've got something on one of your arms, or you've had a surgery or an injury on one of your arms or your wrists or your hands, there's, yeah, there you have it. It's almost like that would be the evidence for what was being told to you. Okay. Gail, I'm going to give you, the spirit animals are going to show up for you based on this specific question. Okay. You cannot make this up. Oh, your sister. No, I don't think you're channeling her, but if it's that close to you, then it might be. Meaning, the message is not for your sister, but if that is, if you guys are super close, does that make sense? Okay. So, Gail, this is the card that came for you, Snail, but what's interesting was when I was shuffling the deck, and so just so you guys know, so this is the deck, right? My deck, my ARC deck, and I shuffle like that, and so the back of the cards are this way, and then the front of the cards are here, and then I just do like that so I can't see the cards. Okay. This card popped out of the deck, but it was facing this way. So when it came up, the back of it was facing me. That's a block, don't you think? Okay. Can't make this stuff up. Okay, Gail. When I step into the energy of Snail for you regarding your specific question of what your block is surrounding fear of success and being seen or heard, I don't think it's either of those things. Again, man, are a whole bunch of you on here? Do you guys have like epic do you guys have epic like perfection complexes? where you're just terrified to do something unless it's perfect. And I feel like a bunch of y'all got I feel like a bunch of y'all got some real stuff thrown at you as a kid. And this might even be specifically for you, Gail. I just see somebody standing in y'all's face as a kid. Nothing was ever good enough for this person. They just railroaded you about every little thing, just on you, on you, on you, on you. And so, yeah, laughs in Virgo. That's funny, Natasha. I feel sorry for you, but okay. So it, Gail, it is, that's it. It's a perfection thing because it's like, you can do what you want to do. I, 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 I don't, I'm just not feeling that that's really what I'm just not feeling that the fear of being seen and heard, it's not the fear. It's kind of like going back to the fire thing for Ma. It really wasn't about the fire so much as it's about whatever leveled her, whatever took her heart down to the ground, burned it up. That's the causation. And I'm really, really, really drawn to the spiral of the snail shell. And I just feel like well, I really do feel like it's a coiled energy. Almost like when someone, oh, it's exactly like when someone just, they let something well up inside them, well up inside them, well up inside them, and all of a sudden something ignites them and they just vomit out and act out in just this long stream of what they are irked with or hurt by or whatever. But in this way, for you, Gail, it's a really good thing because I feel like you're in a place where you are ready to snap. And what that means is you're building up like pressure in a pressure cooker or pressure anywhere, a steam engine or something. And the lid on the top is going because you're fixing to snap. Please release that coiled energy. Release it. There's no end to it. That's the other thing. Gail, I hope you're still on here. This is very specific. I do feel like there's a fear that you can sustain once you go for the success you want, once you move into being seen and heard. You're not confident that you can sustain the work for a long time, that maybe you're not talented enough or don't have enough knowledge or whatever. None of those things are true. None of those things are true. Right, there you go. My pressure cooker. That's why they call it psychic. Okay, let me tell you something, Gail. There, mathematically, you do something at 100% or you don't do it at all. What you're really saying is that I do something perfect and right and win or succeed or whatever, or not at all. There's no such thing as that. Nothing is 100% perfect and nothing is 100%. Nothing. There's always an ounce more that we can give. Always. There's always an ounce more that we can do. So I would encourage you that snail may take a little while to get there, but get there they do. And this is not about slowing down at all, but it is about steady. And I just can't encourage you to, yes, I am reading your chat, Vigera 3. I am. And lots of people are ahead of you. I'm very happy you're here. Yes, you can go on the list. I'm very happy you're here. Thank you for joining us. And there are a bunch of people ahead of you. So, okay. So all of that said, you're welcome, Elika, Alicia, Johnson. Ooh, I don't know. I don't want to murder your name. Okay. So, little C, big C. How can you feel your negative block with self-doubt? Oh, little C, big C. I don't understand that question. How can I feel my negative block with self-doubt? Little C, big C. I don't know what that means. Holy cow, Stitches. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. Oh, I don't know why. uh, I don't know why you can't see that. Gosh, I'm sorry. I don't know why. The Twitch stream should be showing. All right, hold on. The Twitch stream should be showing the chat. Okay, sorry. There are like tons of people here. Again, I don't know why the Twitch stream is not showing the chat. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Let me go back to this question. Little C, big C, not feel. Okay. What do you mean by that? Little C, big C, what is your actual question? Heal. Oh, how can you heal? Got it. How can you heal your negative block with self-doubt? Little C, big C, I feel like early on in life, you might have been bullied or made fun of on a pretty harsh basis, maybe even harsh and consistent basis. Is this correct? Little C, big C. Little C, big C. Do it, Stitches. Stitches, thank you so much for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. Man, I really appreciate it. You need to be live on YouTube. A lot by my family and everyone. Okay. That's how, well, let me pull the animal that's going to help you work through that. But that's where it comes from, is that you got bullied and made fun of. Now, let me tell. Oh, look who came for you today, little C, big C. Okay, listen, this is crazy. So the owl card, this owl card is from the Friends, Family, and Lovers add-on pack of the Ark. And so, I mean, when you take a look at that, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say other than this is like a multi-meaning card for you, meaning I keep hearing the words mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And it's almost like you're in a place, little C, big C, where some kind of exchange of breath, meaning maybe a shamanic healing that does breath work. I'm being told like affirmations and mantras that you repeat to yourself, or, you do that kind of stuff in a mirror back to yourself, so on and so forth. Because if you look, these owls look like not mirror images of each other, but it could be easy to, for the self-love portion. I've had this card come out before for people who really did need to work on self-love, but they're they needed to look in the mirror. I don't think that works for you. Like, you don't even, and when people say that to you, you get irked. You're like, okay, do you think I haven't done a mantra? Do you think I haven't done an affirmation? Do you have blah blah blah, or an like, you get it? This is more like, I I okay, I don't want to plant a seed, but I feel like, yeah, exactly. Annoying AF. Yes, I know that feeling. So it doesn't work for me either. Honestly, it doesn't. But here's the thing. So little C, big C. Ooh, party at Glenna Davis's house. This person lives in Oregon. We're going to party at your house in Oregon. Okay. So all that said, little C, big C, is I don't know you, but I know a little bit about you, and I feel like you'll probably be resistant to this, but that's too bad, because this is what's coming in. You may not have an open conversation, like a physical conversation with these people that bullied you and made fun of you, but from a like a spiritual perspective, whether you say it to them out loud, whether you write it down and then you burn the paper, or you cast it out in the water, or you bury it, or however you want to do it. And I promise you, this is not like life coaching or spiritual coaching, because I'm really bad at that stuff. It's why I don't do it. I don't do it because my answer to everything is jerk yourself up by your bootstraps and get moving. Put your big girl or boy panties on. Let's go. Honestly, that's my answer to everything. It's terribly unhelpful to people who are in who are in trauma or crisis or whatever, and that's why I don't do it. But in this instance, little C, big C, I oh, you did. Hey, Stitches. Oh my God, I loved your reading. Anyway, um, this is literally a moment where I'm going to say, not only is it okay for you to forgive them, but what I'm hearing that is mostly blocking you is you don't want to accept and have never wanted to accept that they're kind of mean-spirited, selfish, narcissistic people. That's a tough thing to accept about a family member, somebody that's supposed to love you and support, and supposed to love you, supposed to protect you, but you've got to get there first. Like, they have limitations, but you've got to accept the limitations, forgive them, and literally do a major release where if they loomed up in front of you today, and maybe they still do, but if you would give them an honest hug and an honest kiss. And honestly, that I've never gotten that message before from these owls. It's crazy. Okay, moving on. Oh, Chipper Dawn. Block. Block. Okay, whoever that Chipper Dawn guy was, or whoever it is behind the screen, they're none of my people, so I just blocked them. Okay, so moving on. You know what? I'm so selfish. I want I want to cancel all the rest of my appointments today and do nothing but sit on this stream and read for people all day long. I just love it. That's so selfish. I got to stop being so selfish. And I can't get rid of all my appointments today. Kenny Snuggles. What's causing the block of my motivation for life? I feel blank and can't figure out why. All right, let me tune on that psychically. I think for the live on Friday, I'm going to mix a gallon of iced coffee and just keep it in a cooler by my desk. Maybe I'll just insert it intravenously. Lack of motivation. Okay, so first of all, Kenny, let me just say this. It's hard for me to not see the good in people. It takes a lot. Yeah, okay. So little C, big C, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, girl. Is that sometimes you just have to go, they're damaged goods. And I mean, we all are in a way, I feel like, from some perspective, but it's a judgment thing that is tough to make. But once you accept that that's who they are, then you can just let it go. Okay, but here's the thing, Kenny Snuggles. Let me go back to this. Kenny Snuggles, are you wanting to move? Um, and Kenny Snuggles, are you wanting to move? Kenny Snuggles, are you even still here? I just feel like there's a move, like a physical move. You're either wanting to move out of the house or apartment or condo or wherever it is that you live to another place, maybe even to another state, maybe even to another country, or there's something about not yet. Okay, wait, Kenny, are you wanting to move? Let's just start with that. Are you wanting to move? And so moving would mean out of a career into something different, out of a relationship, or out of a relationship into something different. Okay, you're Kenny, honey. If you're confused on where you're supposed to go in general, that means you want to make a move, right? If you didn't want to make a move of some kind, you wouldn't be confused about where you're supposed to go, right? Okay. So, Kenny, one more time. I'm not laughing at you. It's just, I just have to also say, this has been the last 2 weeks of clients that have told me no at every single turn. It's nope, nope, nope. And then we'll get like 4 sentences later and they'll go, but gosh darn, like I'll tell somebody, I'll be like, man, I feel like you've been having a lot of frustration lately. Nope, 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 nope. And then 4 sentences later they'll go, and my gosh, I was so frustrated when blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, but you have not. Okay. So Kenny, here's the story. Right. That's what I'm saying, honey. That's totally what I'm saying. Hey, listen, for you all that are just joining us on Twitch, thank you and welcome. I am terribly sorry. I don't know why the chat, the whole chat is not showing up in the stream on Twitch. But you guys that are joining me from Twitch can't see it. I will get that fixed. Hopefully within the next couple of days. But there are a bunch of people. There are a bunch of people between my between Facebook and YouTube. So Kenny bam. Okay, Kenny Snuggles. Here's the story. You're not willing yet to go through a rebirth. Somehow in your mind, going through a complete and total rebirth or regeneration seems overwhelming. I don't think it scares you at all, but I do feel like at this moment in your life, it feels too overwhelming. It would be too much work and you're just not interested at the moment. However, that said, it is, Cicely. It is just like that. Okay. That said, I would really encourage you, Kenny, really encourage you to get ahead of yourself, control the narrative, you might say. And what that means is this. I don't think you're coiled up. Like, I don't remember who it was that got the snail. And I was just like, man, I feel like you feel like a pressure cooker. Everything's just really coiled up in you, ready to go plablouche. Like, you're not to that place yet. But I would encourage you not to let yourself get to that place. Because get ahead of it. Because in my deck, in the Arcangel Tarot and Oracle deck, and remember, my deck is based on the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot system, right? It's the Tower. And I don't feel like you have an easy time of coming back from things rapidly that emotionally level you. Like, it might take you, listen, there's no time frame for moving past or healing from trauma of whatever kind. There's no time frame. There are no rules. but I do feel like you have a lot hard because you're awake. Believe me, I get that. And so I totally get that. Okay. That said, given that you're awake, you're going to want to head the tower off at the pass. Head that snake off at the pass. Meaning, even almost like I feel like you're super attracted to shamanism. Is that correct? Kenny, you've got a real attraction for shamanism. And I feel like you are really tapped into journeying, shamanic journeying, especially like for soul retrieval, that kind of thing. You're really good at dimension jumping. And so I would encourage you not to let yourself get right. Exactly, Kenny. So I would really encourage you to look at this from a shamanic standpoint and journey with the snake and lose your skin as the snake naturally would, which most people think, well, I don't know about most people. I don't have any data on this, but a lot of people that I have talked to believe that snakes maybe only shed their skin once or maybe once a year or whatever. They don't. They shed it 4, 5, 6 times a year. Something about that is going to be very healing for you. And let me just, so I hope that's helpful, and I'm going to move on. Let me also say, Stitches, thank you so much again for the donation. I do all of these readings, these lives, and give messages and whatnot for free. That said, the donations are always appreciated because I give 50% of what I make on my channel to support animal charities that fight against, that really fight against cruelty to animals and fight to end cruelty to animals. Okay, I haven't looked on Amy's list yet. But whoever's on Amy's list yet, Blue-Footed Booby is who's here. No matter what your question is, it's Blue-Footed Booby. Who is it? Emily Ackerson. Of course it's for you. Ha ha. Okay. I would like to ask what negative blocks I have to being vulnerable with my loved ones and allowing new friendships in, and how to let those blocks go. Emily Ackerson. You are very welcome, Kenny. Oh, you know what? I'm super embarrassed. I don't know. I don't know how to tell you to make a donation. Can anybody tell? Can anybody tell Kenny Snuggles how to make a donation? Kenny, so I am glad this was valuable to you, and I am not laughing at you. But if you knew how many people tell me every day, how did you know that? It's funny you say that. How did you know that? Listen, there are some people, everybody's psychic, but everybody's got a different degree of like their sensitivity. Some of it's nature, some of it's nurture, and then it's a combination of both. I'm just crazy, super sensitive. And so, and I study evidential mediumship and psychic work. I don't just blah stuff. Like I was telling, I think it was Gail earlier. I was like, well, this is super like general, but here's the specific part. And then the specific part was right. I'm all about the evidence. Thank you, Natasha. Okay, here's what is hilarious about this, Emily. Nobody's making fun of you. God, Emily, I hope you're still here. Okay, no one's making fun of you, but this is you've got a problem setting boundaries. And oh, well, thank you, Kenny. But see, the thing is, let me step out of this for you, Emily, really quickly. Thank you, guys. Aw, Ma, thank you so much, y'all. Thank you for the donations. Thank you. Okay, Emily, let me give you this message, because it truly is a simple message. You have difficulty with that because you know that you have difficulty setting boundaries. And so I would encourage you that Blue-Footed Booby will help you set boundaries. And it's really literally about stomping their feet. Now, they're, bright, brilliant blue feet. And they do that, it's a mating ritual that they do, right? They do their, you guys got to look at them on YouTube. It's the cutest thing you ever saw in your life. And they're stomping all over the place, their little blue feet. That's what it's got to be. is that you just got to put your foot down. It's really just that simple. Case in point. The lady I bought my house from, I haven't seen her since, I think I saw her once or twice after I bought the house from her. And I walked out my door the other day and I heard this lady yell, Bernadette. And I turned around and I went, oh my gosh, how are you? Well, unbeknownst to me, she walks twice a week with a friend of hers in the neighborhood. So we got to talking, and she hadn't seen all the stuff that I've refurbed in the house, in the backyard and whatever. And so she came back and she saw it. Well, lo and behold, this neighbor has an interest in tarot and psychics and crystals and all that kind of thing, right? So, and the lady I bought the house from, she does also, and they're both humongous animal lovers. So I was like, well, here, why don't you take a copy of the Ark, my gift to you? The lady that was along with her, that is I just met her now, the neighbor, and she's been here for like 30 years. She's like, oh no, this is too generous of a gift. And I said, well, what makes you think that? She goes, well, this looks like an expensive deck. And I went, yes, but it's mine to give. And I said, if it's not expensive for me, or I didn't earnestly want to give it, then I wouldn't. So it's your choice whether to accept it or not, but just know that I'm the boss of me, and you did not pressure you. Nothing you've said or done made me feel obligated or pressured. It's a gift truly from one animal lover to the other. I could watch the circuits in her head go, does not compute, does not compute, does not compute. And in that instant, I knew that if you handed that woman a dang paper towel to wipe her hands, her wet or grody hands, oh no, I can't accept that. Literally, that's what this lady is like. I reckon. I'm pretty sure. So that's what this is about, Emily, is that, oh, okay, so you pulled armadillo and was told to work on boundaries. Okay, yeah, of course. So that being said, Blue Booby is going to work with you, blue-footed booby, on literally putting your foot down. However, blue, the color of the throat chakra, right? Okay, so when you say putting your foot down, it's like I told somebody, I don't know, a couple months ago, they were pushing my boundaries. They were texting me at like midnight, 6 o'clock in the morning, questions, this, that, and it's my choice whether to look at a text or not. And my phone is for business, so I get weird texts all, day and night, that kind of thing. But this is a person that knows me on a little more of a personal basis, not a lot, but a little, and they do good and darn well. That's outside of business hours, and that's not okay. So I was like, listen, I love you and I want to help you and I want to do for you, but you've got to stop I'm going to set boundaries. You've got to stop texting me like 3 times a day. And you definitely have to stop texting me at 6 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night, whenever it hits your fancy. Again, it's my choice whether to answer you or not, but you're nudging me. You're doing it purposefully. You keep nudging and nudging and nudging. And I know that you're doing it purposefully because it's starting to piss you off that I'm not answering you when you think I should answer you. They were like, oh my God, and they were like, well, how did you know that? How did you know I was really starting to get angry? I'm like, isn't that why you hire me as your psychic? Because, come on now, boundaries. Hey, Lisa. So I had to set a boundary. Same with you. So you've got to get with the program, toots, and that's what your block is, Emily, is you block them because you're blocked at the moment from setting your boundaries. But if you'll work with blue-footed booby and think of the stomping that they do in a courtship ritual as voice, as you stomping the words and getting them out in your throat. When you think about it, when we do set healthy boundaries with ourselves and with others, we are in some way doing a courtship ritual, right? We want to love them and we want them to love us. And sometimes we've got to set boundaries to make that happen. Okay. There we go. Oh my gosh, bots. It's nutso. Nuts. Okay. So there you go. I hope that's helpful. Really hope that's helpful. Okay, so Angel Heart, are you even still here? feel bad like the paper towel lady. Emily, why do you feel bad like the paper towel lady? You paid for it. You know, and that's the weirdest thing. Y'all know about half the people that scheduled or that supported the Kickstarter, and I love that you all did. I'm so grateful every day. They haven't scheduled their readings yet. I don't know how many times I gotta beg people to schedule their reading, but you know, there you go. Okay. Oh gosh, sorry y'all. Georgie the pirate is trying to lay on my keyboard. What else is new? Hold on. Okay, calling on Angel, 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 Angel Heart. You still here? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hold on, you guys. Hold on, y'all. My handyman is at the door. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, morning. I love you. I'm broadcasting live. I gotta get back to what's happening. Not right now. I'm broadcasting live. Just give me 10 minutes. I want to wrap it up. You feel okay? Feel okay? Oh, god dang. Ugh. Okay, sorry, y'all. My porch is getting painted bright coral. Okay. So is Angel Heart still here? Oh, thank goodness. Y'all, honey, let me tell you something. Please take this seriously, Angel Heart. Please, I'm begging you, take this as seriously as you've ever taken anything. No joke. So Angel Heart's question is, I'm struggling with fear block of moving forward with decisions. I know whatever I do, someone will have negative comments. I'm ready to move forward quietly. No. Nope. Nope. No. A white buffalo is the Ace of Pentacles in the Ark. Lisa, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Wow, thank you so much. You guys, thank you for all the donations today. It's so crazy. It is so crazy because just this week I made an extra big donation to one of the animal cruelty, the prevention of animal cruelty. In particular, I'll spare you, but it's Asian related things they do to animals that, anyway. So I really appreciate that more than I can say. That said, there's no reason for you to move forward quietly. When a white buffalo comes to us, it is, gosh, it's just such an omen of strength, strength of spirit, strength in spirit, whatever it is you believe in, the one, the all, the source, the this, the that. And let me go back to Buffalo Soldier. That's funny. So, Buffalo Soldier, I love the song. So anyway, that being said, I want to go back to, who was it that said shaman? I went to a shaman, even they didn't get it, whatever. Lordy, I'm bad with names, y'all. Okay. Potato, potato. And what that means is some people, that's such a good show, Stomp. Oh my gosh, that's such a great show. What I mean is, some people call themselves shamans, some people call themselves psychics, some people call themselves mediums. They're all the same thing, really. They're all the same thing. And just because somebody labels themselves something does not mean they actually are that from an accuracy perspective. We all are shaman. We all are psychics. We all are mediums. We all are clairvoyants. We all are healers. The degree to which we are, or the sensitivity or the connectivity that we have, that does differ person to person. I just have to be super sensitive. You'd never know that to watch me talk. Holy cow, you guys, sorry, that's my sister. She's always, her number rings through no matter what. And I don't know what she's doing. She knows I'm on a live this morning. Okay, listen. Back to you, Angel Heart. Listen. Stop trying to move forward quietly. And what do you care what people say that are negative? What do you care? So let me ask you this question. Let's say that whatever way you want to move forward, Angel Heart, let's say that you could radically change someone's life for the better. What if you actually saved their life? What if you were able to help them heal to such an extent that it changed the dynamic of their entire family? I don't care who it is. Would you give a rat's patootie what somebody had to say to you that's negative? I hope not. I really hope not. Because if you would be willing to trade helping people the way that you want to help them, and I think I know how you want to help them. I mean, I do get. I think I know that by now. Um, I I have to say, if you would abandon that just because you'd be afraid that somebody may get a negative comment, then you're not ready to do any of this at all. And I would invite you to take a big old step back. But I don't think, I don't, this is such a sign of success and you're on the right path and you have so much spirit supporting you. Unless this buffalo sprouted wings and was like the love child. Well, this is really a bison, you guys. Okay, I put a buffalo because it's a whole long story about what Americans think a buffalo is as opposed to a bison. Blah blah blah. Okay, so but it's really a bison. Buffalo they're Asian and they look very different. But if this buffalo bison got together and had a love child with an actual angel, that's what these represent. Period. End of story. They don't come thundering into your life, but white buffalo bison absolutely is a spirit totem and power animal is a humongous presence and cannot be ignored and shouldn't be ignored. But when you see one, I had the opportunity for the first time in my life to see a white buffalo bison when I was on vacay in Kansas, I don't know, a month ago or so or whatever. And though I'd never got the opportunity to see it up close, and I'm still very bitter about that, from what I could see of its face when I was trying to take a picture and I blew up the picture to try to capture its face, the look in its eye did not look like a regular buffalo bison. And I have been fascinated with buffalo bison since I was a kid, honestly. So there you go. Okay. Thank you, Kenny Snuggles. Thank you so very, very, very much. My gosh, you guys, so generous today. Thank you. All right. I'm going to pull one more card. This is for everybody. I do have to go, y'all. I'm on a super tight schedule today. Although, again, selfishly, all I want to do is sit on this computer and read for people all day long. I'm so selfish. I'll get past that at some point. Druid New Age culture. Dawn. Millions of religions and beliefs. Why not simply be who we are with all the abilities and insights given? What need of a name do we have if we have a gift helpful to all? Yoda has spoken. I'm trying to figure out how to blend the name Dawn with Yoda. Dota. No, that's not the same. Dada. No, not the same. I'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Here's a card for everyone. So no matter what you've got on your mind as your block, first of all, blocks be gone. Okay, I'm gonna pull a card, but when I just shut my eyes and asked for the spirit animal, the power animal that would be best for everybody in this moment about removing negative blocks, the face of an elephant appeared like right here, looking right at me, and then the trunk came up and was like sniffing me everywhere. There's something about blocks be gone. That should be an essential oil. Or a beer. There's something about elephant that is really meaningful. Oh, y'all. Dirt. The elephant is the judgment card in the arc. Now, just because it's the judgment card in the arc doesn't mean that elephants represent the judgment tarot card in the Rider-Waite-Smith, system. It doesn't mean that. But today it does. So I really want to say I really want to say, um, Hottie Hotness on Twitch. Hi, Daisy Lane. You guys that are joining me from Twitch, Marty, um, Anxious App, or Anxious or whatever. I see you guys. Authors, you know, I see you all. What you can't see right now is there are a ton of people also um, on the stream, but for some reason that is not showing up in Twitch. And I've got a lot of people ahead of you guys, and I only read from 9 to 10:30. Let me go back to so this is for everybody. If you're just joining me, no matter what your question is, although today was about removing negative blocks, it is about the elephant right now. And I really, really would encourage you. I really would encourage you to work with elephant and the judgment card for whatever your block is. And what I'm seeing is, y'all, what I'm seeing is in the judgment card, you know, it's the angel with the trumpet in the traditional Rider-Waite Smith deck. And then people are coming up out of their coffins. They're being resurrected. They're coming back to life. And that's what it is. You just got to come back to life. Oh, not true. Yes, but not true. You elephant, let me get these words exact. Elephant is telling me you've got to clear the pipeline. And this isn't about the chakras. I feel like this is gut related. And what that means is there's a digestive issue. That what you're swallowing from yourself or other people, you've got to do a cleanse in your gut. Now, I know that sounds vague. I do know that sounds vague. But for every one of you that are having a block, I guarantee you, I guarantee you, if you went to someone who knew nothing about you that did energy work, like a really for real Reiki person, not somebody that paid $2.98 on a weekend to get Reiki Master certified on the dang internet, a quantum healer, a Barbara Brennan healing hands, just, you know, a real shaman, they would detect murkiness and sluggishness in your solar plexus chakra. And I'll bet you that I will bet you a dime to a donut that most of you that have any kind of negative energy block. Well, here's another thing I'm called to tell you. So weird. So here's my little witchy poo mason jar that a friend of mine made for me because I live for Halloween all day, every day. And these mints, so I sent Amy out to get these mints, right? I was out of mints. And I have this whole digestive thing because the autoimmune, blah, 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 whatever. And she got back and I was like, oh, those are the wrong mints. They're not the right ones. But they are. She didn't know what kind of mints I wanted. She knew where I wanted her to get them, but I wasn't specific. I just need peppermint. These are way better than the ones I normally have. These are all natural oil. The sweetener in them is natural. They're really more medicinal than they are anything else. And so I'm being told to tell you guys that are really truly having, like Mindy, you just posted, yeah, mint is great for digestion. I was just going to say that for those of you that are having an issue digesting things, or what you're swallowing is not good for your system, and this can be literal food, this can be flack from another person, this can be negative self-talk, it can be all of those things, but there's rumbly in your tumbly. And if you'll start working with that, that's going to clear up a lot of blocks for you, because the creativity is just going to go woo, and then the other thing is I just keep seeing the elephant's trunk. Smell, smell, touch, touch, smell, smell. There's body work that could be very helpful to you. Acupuncture, a really good body worker, not just a masseuse, but somebody that's a body worker that will work with specific areas of your body to do a release of the toxins, of the pent up energy, of that kind of thing. And that's going to be really pickle juice. Woo. Yeah, consumption. Yeah, okay, cool. So I love you guys, but I gotta go. I literally have another appointment in like 5 minutes. Man, I hope that was helpful. I do hope to get to more people on Friday. I'll tighten up the readings in terms of time, but the thing is when Spirit is sending me through energetically, it's I think it's remiss of me not to deliver the whole message just because I'm like, oh, I want to get to as many people as possible. So I'll have a conversation with Spirit, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm working very heavily right now with Our Lady of Guadalupe. I have this in my hand most all day long, and I don't know what it is. It'll come to me eventually, but right now, Our Lady of Guadalupe is all up in my consciousness and my awareness every time I turn around. So, um, thank you guys very much, and thank you again for the very generous donations. Y'all are just my heart, and so all of that said, what are the most important things? To do good for animals, including yourself, and stay wild. And I'll see you guys Friday. Love you guys.